Can't wait for the weekend. Gonna dive off the deep end. No, I don't need a reason. Ooh. Na 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 na.
What's up, everybody? This is the Lazy Farmer, and back in Run 8 again. I swear I'm going to give you guys something a little different to look at besides Run 8, and also, sorry I'm at a 5-minute waiting period of dead silence and a couple of little pieces of some what I feel to be crappy music. I'm probably going to have to go back to Pretzel Rocks so I can get something playing, heavy metalish, rock and roll metalish. They had some decent music in there, but you know, it's all about finding that DMCA music. Anyway, back to what I put on the title for this one. Are my industries broken? Oh my goodness. Let me explain. First of all, this is going to be kind of a short one. I'm not going to spend hours here. One, maybe two. One, probably maybe two tops. I don't know. It's been a day. I'm back to work again. My summer vacation's over. It's hot. It was, let me turn this down a little bit. I'm kind of driving it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's actually, we topped out today at 103 here. So, Kung Fu Beer was in your stream last night, and I know you were saying down there it was like in the low upper 90s. So, yeah, we were in triple digits, and they're showing us triple digits to the weekend. Then the weekend's supposed to be down into the 90s, although the high 90s, and then we go back up into triple digits again, and that is normal for this time of year in this area. I'm in the Central Valley. So, and then also, it's funny, there was an article. If you ever follow the Babylon Bee, check it out. It's all satire. And it's funny, though. There was an article today in the Babylon Bee that said that scientists are confused by the fact that global warming seems to peak between the months of June, July, and August, and they don't understand why. Yeah, it's called summer. And the thing about it, I've noticed that even since I was a kid and the term global warming first started popping up, it always seemed to pop up right about now. Guess what, folks? Summer. It gets hot. That's what summer does. Okay, it's normal. Some years it's not as hot as others, and some years hell seems to come to the surface of the planet. So and then with all the rain we had over the winter, it's not just hot, it's humid, and that's not normal for the Central Valley. Humidity is, I mean, a little bit of humidity, but this is like Virginia humid. Oh my gosh. So anyway, let's go on about. I want to talk about my industries. I thought my industries were broken. So I'm going to go over industries in detail today and explain why I thought my industries were broken. So first thing I want to do, though, is I want to jump into the dispatch screen, and I'm going to go out. Oh, I got the hiccups now. Of course, I get the hiccups as soon as I start talking. I'm going to jump out here because there's a particular industry I want to look at. And I'm going to use it for my example, what I want to talk about. And not this one. Let's cruise on down the line down here, because down here there is a lumberyard that is supposed to fill center rails. So I'm going to come down. Did I just pass it? No. That's just an industrial park. Not that one. This one right here. So it's supposed to fill these wood chip hoppers right here. And it's supposed to fill these center rails right here. Now, something that I did not do when I signed in, and this game has been running idle because I have my computer shut off while I was away. So it hasn't moved forward at all. So let's talk about the industries first. Okay, so let's get some tags up so we can see milepost tags are on. This is Sierra Pacific Run Loading. You can see it right there. If the blue, you know what, I want to change that because I think the blue might be a little hard for you guys to see. Let's go, I don't like the red either. White or yellow? If I have to look at the sky, yellow, I'll change it as we go along so you guys can see it. So, okay, the industry is Sierra Pacific Unloading, so milepost tags. So now we know what industry this is. And the same thing over here, Sierra Pacific Unloading. So we have two spurs that we need to move cars into. So I want to get into, let's see, right control F8 will bring up the industry tags. So now you can see the orange dots. That's where cars have to be in order for them to be worked by the industry, and the industry tag is SPI. So we can do left control I to bring up the industry configuration and SPI, and we already know, it's Sierra Pacific. So we're going to look under the industry configuration. We're going to look for Sierra Pacific. Scroll down. Sierra Pacific Industry, SPI. Okay, SPI. It's part of the LRV 64 local, and it wants center beam flat cars. These are, when they get worked, these are the destinations it'll randomly pick from. This is how many can fit in that siding. It's a center beam flat car. It can take 12 and take 24 hours to work. If we scroll down, we see wood chip hoppers. Its only destination is PW. I was messing around. It's 8 hours to work those. And, it can take 8 cars, and it takes 24 hours. So we're going to come back and visit this. But before I do that, I want to try something here. So, reason I thought that my industries were broken was because I was under the impression that if you come back, okay, I park these cars here, I come back 3 days later, and I click on use system time here. So I'm going to go to sim options, date and time, go to use system time, and it will bring it forward to today's date to right now time-wise. and I thought these cars would automatically be worked. And before I click the use system time button, I think they're going to load up, but it's going to throw everything off. And it's going to look like I'm not talking what I'm talking. Well, I know what I'm talking about. But let me give you my example. The day before, and I was on yesterday. All right, and it has been 3 days, 4 days. I'll have to go back and look at my video. 4 days tops since I parked these cars here. So yesterday and the day before, I clicked the use system time. These cars have not loaded. So before I click the use system time, I'm going to tell you what. Now, in the description, I put in that statement, when all else fails, read the user guide in the Run 8 directory. And I did. I went to the industry configuration guide and I read all the way through it, top to bottom. And I'm going to come up with a statement, and it's a request to Run 8, to the Run 8 developers or to whoever put those together. It's time to bring them up to version 3. Because there's 2 pieces that, as I read through it twice, and I probably missed, if somebody else saw it in there, let me know in the comments. But the 2 pieces are, I don't believe it's based off of system time. I believe it's off of game time, at least here on NorCal. And that's number 1. And then number 2, there's a piece in the configuration that is not pointed out in that user guide. And it's a small piece, but it's an important piece. So let's go back into it, and I want to look at, first of all, center beam flat cars. So it takes 12 cars, 24 hours. It produces loads, which means it wants empties, and that's what I have. I have a whole bunch of empty cars here. The filter piece, I did not see, and I'm going to go back and reread it again, but I did not see that really described. And when I looked at other videos that were based off of version 2 and how other players of Run 8 configured the industries, this is something they never got into. And so my understanding, once again, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, my understanding is you can pick and choose which cars actually come to this industry. So obviously DA, Russian for yes. Why they did this, I don't know. They just say yes, no. I mean, just come on, you know, or something else. But they get cute every once in a while. I get it. Extra a car to come in, you just click on it and it says net. And if you do want it, you just click on it and it's green and it says da. That means yes in Russian. And so when you make up your manifest trains through not the train maker upper, but through the AI configuration, and you tag for industries, and you want to make up a manifest train, say just locals for this, then it's going to look here and go, oh, I can get them all, any kind of center rail, I'm going to send it to them. Center rails, I'm fine. So, but an example was that one of the propane, suburban propane and Sparks, I think is what it is, or I think it's up in, there's a propane one up there in Colfax that if you watch that video, I switched that out. They got black cars. Traditionally, they get white tank cars. And so if we look at the tank cars and look at the filter, got a lot to choose from. But we have this one right down here, white. And so if you if this is going to take, if this particular, say it's not, but if this industry takes propane tank cars, they want that in, you can set all these to no, set this one to yes, and that's what you'll get for that industry are white tank cars. That's pretty cool. It makes sense. You go look at a propane center, they got nothing but white everywhere. All the tanks are white. Everything's white. So it just makes sense that you get the white tank cars for it. Okay, so that piece right there. Let's update the user guides. Okay, let's bring it all. I mean, I just look at it. I mean, even as good and detailed as the depot is, You know, bring your website up to standard. Bring your website up to today. Run 8. Bring your website up to today. Show. Let's get everything up to version 3. I get it. You guys work for a living. This is not your only job. Okay, this is kind of a secondary job, and you've done a fantastic job. But my request is bring all the information up, because we want to get new players in, and we want to minimize their confusion. That's my goal by doing these streams. All right, so anyway, going back to the industries being broken, so 12 cars, 24 hours. It's been 3-4 days, and I've moved this. I've gone in here to date time, and I've clicked use system time, and the cars have not loaded. So I'm going to click the use system time in front of you guys right now. Let's see if the cars load up. Boom, we got it. So I can tell you, if you look at my streams, in the days that I've parked these cars here, I have probably streamed about, over a course of 3 days, 24 hours. And even at the time that I've been not streaming, I've been in here playing, but it's been a piece here, a piece there, a piece here, a piece there. And if it worked on the 24-hour clock, literally the next day or the morning of of 2 days later after I parked these cars here, they should have loaded. But they haven't been loading until just now when I clicked the button. So it's kind of giving me a clue that it's not clock, at least on the NorCal map. It's not the clock, it's the amount of time that you play. So what are we left with? So my industries aren't broken, they just need to be changed. And so what I've been doing is I've been going around to some of my industries and dropping the 24-hour 1-day time, which would work if this was on a server and the server was up all the time. But since it's not, I'm reducing the time down to about 3 hours. And the reason being is, okay, so I played 6 hours just running this local, dropping cars off, and it's going to be, so if that's the case, I want to set it to 3 hours, and it's 3 hours from the time I drop these cars in here. And then by the time I get done working the next 2 locals, you know, these should be loaded up when I come back and I bring the next local around. Because 24 hours might work, but I think 3 for solo play, somewhere between 3 and 6, is probably the best for solo play. Remember, I'm treating this as it's my virtual model railroad. So I want to equate this to me parking empty cars here, and then say maybe my son or my daughter coming in, you know, when I'm not around, and loading up lumber on all these cars, putting pipes in different cars, you know, loading wood chips in these cars. So when I come back, wow, look what the elves did. They loaded all my cars up. That's ultimately what we want to do. We have to remember that before version 3, I think it was version 2, maybe it was version 2, but I know we'll go back to version 1. If you parked cars here, then you pretty much had to come in and click on the string of cars, and then you changed here. You changed all the sliders to when they're filled, and you put destinations in, and you had to do it manually. Now with the advent of AI in the simulator, this industries do it for you. It's pretty ingenious. All right, it's a huge advancement. But if I come back into the industry configuration and I have it set for 24 hours, and I come back 3 days later thinking, okay, let me check my industries, make sure they're working right, and they're not, to me it seems like they should have been. So, things to do on this industry. Let's drop it all the way down to 3 hours. So if I wanted to say, just focusing on this particular local. We got to click save. All right, so this industry save, it now, so I didn't change the capacity of cars, but after they're dropped off 3 hours later, they're going to be full. If that's too soon, I can raise it up. But it's something that how we want to, if you're playing solo, to if you want to turn cars real quick, then that's really what you need to do. So just keep in mind then that at least, I'm going to say at least here on the NorCal server, NorCal server, I keep saying server, it's not a server. On my NorCal game, playing solo, it's something that I want to do to change that out. So when it comes time to bring in another manifest and work this, and I do have one sitting in the yard that needs to be pushed over the hump. You know, let's do that. So anyway, that's the industry piece of it. It's not broken. It's just configuring and realizing that it's not based off a 24-hour clock. And I had said that once before, that I thought it was a 24-hour clock. I now believe it is 24 hours worth of game time, of the amount of time that you're actually in the sim playing. So I don't know. We'll see. Because I mean, it took me, this is 4 days since I parked those cars there. I clicked, and all 3 days I've clicked that, forward to bring it forward in time to local time. No loads. Click on it, and today it's been, so it's got to be like, I must have done over 24 hours, because it's been 48, 96 hours of real time, and they didn't load until today. But I would say yes, it's got to be over 24 hours worth of play time, and now they're loading up. I want to take a look at something though, because I did work some industries off of stream yesterday. I just wasn't feeling being on here. Here's one, RVM, Roseville. This is maintenance away. So let's take a look at that industry. I dropped these yesterday, and I dropped them kind of yesterday, probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Roseville, maintenance away, RVM. So it's a 24 hours turn, and they want empty cars and they'll produce loads. So if I dropped it off yesterday, before this time yesterday, by clicking forward, that'd be 24-hour clock time, and we're still looking at, well, I might stand corrected because I dropped them off, but here we have outbounds, but I'm not seeing loaded cars. They're all empties, but they've been retagged. So let's look at this industry again. What's going on? So I'm kind of confused now. Now I just confused myself. So once loads, oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Here we go, gondola. Okay, they want empties. I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, so it did. They produce empties. I don't remember. I thought they were empty when I dropped them yesterday. Well, produce empties. So gondola 2, and then boxcar 1. Really? Boxcar 3, gondola 3. So I can fit more than what, so anyway, we got empties, so they're ready to be turned. Fuel. Let's take a look at that. Where did the, fuel's over here. Yeah, that's empty too. So, okay, now I'm confused. I'm very confused. Oh, wait a second, let me double check something. No, 24 hours. So I'm very confused now. I don't know. Maybe my industries are broken. So just when I think I have it right, I get a curveball. Same thing over here. I found a mistake over here, by the way. They had bulkhead cars in here, and they wanted gondolas. So yeah, these actually had supplies to make rebar. And then over here, these were empties, ready to be filled up. Oh wait, or are they? No, I think that these... Why am I not seeing a tag here? Oh no, they got tagged. And they're full. Alright, well, okay, I'm going to stand corrected. I don't know what's going on with the industries then. So are my industries broken? Because those cars there acted as if it was 24 hours clock time. 24 hours over from yesterday. But the other industries out there, it was almost 4 days since I dropped them, and they just loaded today. Haven't done any updates. I've got these here are classified. These are all for Sparks. I brought the train back yesterday too from Sparks because it was exceeding the Sparks yard, hanging out onto the main line. So I ran it through the bowl, and I'm going to be I'm going to be doing that from now on. That the Sparks manifests are pretty much going to come here to Roseville. I'm going to run them through the bowl and split them into 2 different trains and then send them to Sparks. And I'm going to test that too because I'm not entirely sure that the AI will stop in Sparks. So I need to make sure that when the trains come into the yard that they come down a track and make sure that the yard track at the other end, the switch is against the train so it stops it, and then I'm just going to have to go there and make sure the engines are relinquished from the AI, because I noticed that the train was still running and it was still under AI, unlike say like the Barstow yard or this one. When the train comes in, it stops and it relinquishes. At Sparks it doesn't relinquish, so kind of have to keep an eye on that. So I'm looking at a couple of really long trains. I took one to Sparks already yesterday. I've got 1, 2, 3 small that I might take and put these together as one train, these 2 together as one train, and send those to Sparks. And I had a real long one here as well too. That was all for one local, and I sent that over the mountain. So other than that, I guess that's it. I think we're still looking at the industries. Let me go bounce out of here again. I still have one industry to work out of Roseville. And it's this one here. No cars here to pick up. This one. Okay, this one as of today had not changed out. I clicked forward and it came forward in time. So that's what I'm saying. This is one of those that took longer than 24 hours. Let's see. This one. That one needs to be switched out. That's a different local. CSS got switched out. It now has pipes in it. That one had within a 24-hour period of time did switch. This one didn't. It now is. So these industries severely act like they're broken. Got some partial loads. You can tell by the orange. If it's yellow or orange, they're partially loaded. It's like here's yellow, yellow. This is orange to Eugene, Ogden, Utah, red. And that's, forgot what it is. That's in Utah also. I can't remember which city it was. So we've got more here. These are empties. So we actually have these industries ready to be switched out, and I do have another manifest ready to be pushed over the hump to build some more. So only things I can do on my own. It may be time to start, hey guys, I'll fire up the server if you want to come and help me run NorCal. Maybe getting close to that. But you know what? It's not going to be today, because honestly, it's too damn hot and the AC's not working. And I'm dripping bullets here. Let me turn this fan around. Yeah, I just had words with the AC guy, by the way, too. Because the guy that came and started the project keeps blowing me off because he doesn't want to do the next part of it. And so I finally went to a different company, and I called the first one. And I said, I'm calling company B, and they're going to come out. I told them I already know what the problem is because you guys told me what the problem is, but your guy, or you won't send anybody out here to work on the problem. So I'm going to get company B, which is, yeah, they're more expensive, but guess what? You're going to pay the bill because you're refusing to do the job. I'm not paying the bill. So they said they're supposed to have somebody here tomorrow. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, I'm sweating bullets here. Even with the fan on, I'm blowing right on me. And if you guys hear it, I'm sorry for the noise. Anyway, so, and I got some other things I want to set up too. Namely, I was talking about getting music on this stream. I'm going to go back to Pretzel Rocks and put some music in the background. I think that would help. And so anyway, short stream. If you guys got any solution, I don't know. We'll see how I'm going to run another local through those industries. And when it's time, I'll time it. Some of those I changed to 3 hours, so I know they're going to say, but not all. But like these, where I didn't change them, they were still 24 hours, I believe. This is maintenance away. Yeah, still 24 hours. So, and I like this. 2, 1. They send me more than what it's supposed to get. But anyway, I don't care. It fits. So we're good. And it's 24 hours. So we'll see. Maybe it was just something left over. And, you know, because there were still cars in some of those industries that were hanging out there. And, you know, and they were mistagged and everything. So maybe it was, you know, me maybe fixing it. Maybe it got confused. DB, I know you had a question. I'm going to speak to you. That I had left some cars sitting in their spot. I just retagged them, didn't move them, and they got retagged and they got worked by the industry. So I don't know. So maybe it is 24 hours game time. I want to keep an eye on that, folks. So are my industries broken? Or was it just the initial configuration and and that's with what was in there, and it got confused when I put in the Depot Plus configuration? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll move forward and we'll go. Some, like I said, some are set for 3 hours, some are set for 24 hours. So short stream today, guys. Very short. So, but I'm hoping it's full of information and, you know, something that you guys can respond to if you know the difference, if you know the truth of what, you know, what it might be. But other than that, yeah, let's go back. I'm gonna actually, before I back up, I'm gonna park myself exactly where I was before. Sparks Yard, and that's off to Half Ed. Sparks Yard. Oh, there I went. There I am. I sped up my on-ground running too, so. This is a local that I'm researching right now. It's all down here in Sparks. Pretty much this YSP52 is all around Sparks. So it's not outside the limits in the industries. It is industries though. Like what I was talking about, like here's an example, propane. They got white tanks, but on this load, there's black tanks that go in there. So I've changed that industry, so the next time I get a manifest for Sparks, I should get white tanks for it, and they'll start, that'll be more appropriate, white propane tanks, as opposed to black ethanol or oil or anything like that, you know, LPG, anything like that. So otherwise, I'm going to catch you guys later. I'm going to get off of here. I am freaking roasting right now. So, yeah, it's uncomfortable to stream. Sorry, guys. So, anyway, thanks for looking at it. Like I said, in the comments section. Oh, yeah, don't forget to, you know, click subscribe and notification and all that good stuff. Give me a thumbs up, too. help me get this information out there. And anywhere in the messaging, drop a message in there. Tell me what you think it might be on the industries. Are they broken? Do I need to just go through and run another local through that industry and see what happens? You tell me what you think. Anyway, if this was helpful for you too, like I said, thumbs up, subscribe, bell, all that good stuff. I will catch you guys later. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one.